One Piece has done a great job introducing some very lovable characters that you really grow to care for throughout the story. And then there's these guys, the absolute scum of the earth, the ones you hate more than anything and despise. That's what we'll be talking about today when I talk about the top 10 worst and most hated One Piece characters. And of course, this list is just my opinion. Feel free to have your own opinion and comment down below. Let's begin. Coming in 10th place, I got Hodie Jones. Hodie is probably one of the worst main villains in all of One Piece, because he only exists to get dogged on by the Straw Hats to see how strong they've gotten from their training. Hodie's main reason to be a villain is just because the older generation told him that humans are bad and that he has to get rid of all humans. Humans never did anything to him, he just hates them because he was told to. I get the message they were trying to spread with that, but it's still kind of stupid. His crew's an absolute joke, and his fight against the Straw Hats are just embarrassing. He's fighting them underwater, and he has home field advantage. He's also on roids, and he still loses. So in short, absolute bum, worst main villain in all of One Piece, moving on. Next up in 9th place, I got Caesar Clown. Caesar's the villain that follows right after Hodie, and it does not get much better from Fishman Island. Caesar spends most of his time on Punk Hazard doing experiments on children, and on top of that, he's just really annoying. Which sucks, because Caesar's a very important part of the next 200 episodes, meaning it's 200 episodes of this face. He then resorts to trying to be a comedic relief around the time of Whole Cake Island, which really didn't land for me, and he will forever live in the shadow of Vegapunk and the world's greatest clown, Buggy. In 8th place, I got Treble. Treble is the right-hand man and mentor to Doflamingo, and yeah, he just sucks. Doflamingo was evil from the start, but the person who really sculpted him into what he is today was Treble. Treble spends most of his time in Dressrosa running around like this slimy little rat. He cannot do anything for himself, and his devil fruit is extremely gross and weird with the stick fruit, which allows him to control mucus. There's really not much to say about Treble, he's just really gross and annoying, and on top of that, look at this build. What is that? Coming in 7th place, I got Absilon. A lot of people hate on Thriller Bark, but I personally enjoyed it, except for this guy right here. This is Absilon, and he ate the invisibility fruit. And throughout Thriller Bark, he uses this fruit to do actions I'm too afraid to show on YouTube. On top of competing with Sanji and Brook for the biggest weirdo in all of One Piece, he's just really annoying and gets way too much screen time. I'm very happy that there's now a new owner of the invisibility fruit, that being Shiryu, and a lot of people hate on Gecko Moria, but in my opinion, he looks phenomenal in comparison to this guy. Number 7, moving on. Now in 6th place, I got Conjurro. Conjurro started out as a pretty likable guy. He had good chemistry with the Straw Hats, he had a cool devil fruit, he was a samurai, and then the truth came out. Conjurro was a dirty rat, a snitch. He was telling this guy, who we'll get to later, Orochi, about all of the Straw Hats' plans and sabotaging them. So many things went wrong because of this guy, and I'm still angry he would do this to the Straw Hats, the other samurai, and especially my goat Odin. He did eventually get what was coming to him, which was extremely satisfying, and I'm glad we got justice for Odin and all of Wano. Moving on. Coming in 5th place, I got Saint Saturn. The main reason I hate Saint Saturn is because of what he did to Kuma, man. Kuma's like a human teddy bear. He runs around trying to make everybody's day way better. And what does Saint Saturn do? He takes advantage of this and turns him into the world government's property and their weapon. He takes him away from his family and threatens to hurt them if Kuma doesn't follow his every command. And on top of that, he's just extremely annoying. This talk about how humans are insects compared to him, about how he's way better than everyone else, gets really annoying after a while. And I don't understand how he can call humans insects when he just runs around as being Emu's dog. Cannot wait for Luffy to deliver him what he deserves. Next up in 4th place, I got Spandom. Spandom is a lot of people's number 1, and I can totally see why. Spandom spends most of his time on screen being an annoying brat who thinks he's better than everybody because his dad was a top marine. Meanwhile, he's actually weaker than the average human being. Whenever he's not whining and complaining, he's just torturing and making fun of Robin. And on top of that, look what he did to Tom, man. He didn't deserve that. His downfall was so satisfying, and Frankie absolutely decking him in the face was an excellent moment. I really don't know why they brought him back in Dressrosa, maybe so he can get more of what he deserves. But yeah, number 4, moving on. Next up in 3rd place, I got Orochi. Orochi's the false shogun of Wano because he knew that title belonged to Odin, but knowing he could never live up to him, he decided to boil him to death. Odin went out in a really heroic way protecting his friends, but I wish he went out in a cooler way, like fighting a powerful opponent like Kaido. But no, instead he went out to this two-faced lying scumbag. On top of getting rid of my goat, he was also responsible for the Smile Fruit crisis. He distributed them to all the Wano villagers and made them suffer this horrible curse. Literally hundreds of people lived horrible lives just because of him. He had the resources to make these guys' lives way better, but did nothing about it. I know Kaido is heavily involved in this too, but at least Kaido's cool, man. Orochi has a really cool devil fruit that he does not know how to use, and it was a waste of a mythical zone. I'm glad Denjiro finally gave him what was coming to him at the end of Wano. Justice for Odin. Moving on. My runner-up is going to Vander Deken. Hodie was a really bad villain, don't get me wrong, but Vander Deken was what made Fishman Island really unbearable. If you take him out of Fishman Island, that arc would have been 100 times better. You see, the main thing people complain about with Vander Deken is that he is, well, I can't really say what he is, but let's just say if he was on a TV show, it'd be the one with Chris Hansen in it. In case you still don't understand it, look at this poster. He spends most of his time being a weirdly weird and annoying creep who could not handle rejection like at all. I'm glad he got what was coming to him, and this is by far my least favorite character in all of One Piece, if it wasn't for this guy ahead of him. Before I get to my number one, I'll give a quick few honorable mentions, like Akainu for what he did in Marineford, Blackbeard also for what he did in Marineford, Vinsmoke Judge for what he did to Sanji, Caribou for being really annoying and somehow still relevant 600 chapters after his introduction, and Doflamingo. While I really like his character, what he did to Corazon cannot be excused. But now let's get to my number one, which is Charlos. I'm pretty sure Charlos is the most hated character in all of fiction. Every single bad thing I mentioned about everybody on this list is all rolled up into one big lump of snot for Charlos. He spends his entire time being the average celestial dragon. He abused characters like Hachan and Kuma. And the most satisfying moments in all of One Piece is when Luffy punched him and when Sai and Leo finished the job. I cannot believe it didn't happen earlier though, because he is by far the most annoying character in all of One Piece, which says a lot because every character on this list I've been saying how annoying they are, but Charlos takes it to a whole nother level. There's a reason everybody hates celestial dragons, and 99% of it is because of this guy right here. My number one is going to Charlos. Moving on. Thank you all for watching this video. This is a much more like a very opinion-based video, just based off my personal opinions and experiences with One Piece. I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Comment your own opinion below. This is just my opinion. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.